On RebelRunSports.com. I'm John Moore with Rob G. and Papa, and our great star, Coach Jason Eldridge of the West Springfield Spartans.
Great. Yeah, that's great.
Coach, let's get right into it. Tough start to the season, tough loss, 49-14. You go into Robinson. Injuries, I'll let you tell the tale.
Yeah, so everything started off great. We had our game plan in order. We were going to throw some new things at them offensively, and we thought based on what we knew of their offense that we could handle their defense. Our younger levels did a very good job in the JV freshman games against what they do normally. I got to give a lot of credit to Coach Vossler and his staff at Robinson. They brought out an offense that we've never seen before out of Robinson, and he broke out a playbook that we had a hard time adjusting to early on in particular. Obviously, they have good talent. They get off the ball really well. They got a right tackle who's Division I player, and we knew he was going to be a handful for us. But they threw a lot of things at us early in particular that caused us some trouble adjustment-wise on defense, and they gashed us in that regard. When the game started, everything was great. We were executing our game plan perfectly. After the first drive, when we got up 7-0, when we came out on defense, that's when the injuries started happening. We didn't play Pete, as you all know. That was a precautionary measure. We could have gone with him if we needed to. If this was a late season situation where we needed a win, we would have gone with him. But in my mind, it was my decision. Weeks 2 through 9 are way more important than week 1. So we were kind of behind the 8 ball anyway. But when Jordan went down at the corner spot and we brought Derek in to replace him in the first defensive series, and then he went down to play later, that blew everything up for us. We couldn't go empty anymore. We didn't have the receivers. The game plan was surrounding Derek. So when he went out, we couldn't do anything as far as what we had planned and worked on all off season and in the summer. We were scrambling personnel-wise because we don't have a lot of kids. And it just kind of snowballed on us. And in that kind of environment, when things snowball on you, it's tough to recover. It is what it is. And I'm obviously very disappointed. I would like to see us come out and perform well, whether we win or lose. There's a lot of situational things. But at the end of the day, we got to get better. And we got to find holes for the personnel until our injuries rectify themselves. Peter should be okay this week, which is what we're banking on. So we got to get back to work because this week is yet another tough test for us. So, yeah.
Well, you said Robinson threw some new things that you hadn't seen before. How were you able to adjust to those things in the game?
We weren't.
Okay.
when you give up 49 points, Rob, you don't really adjust. But here's what they did. They threw a lot of formations at us that we weren't ready for. That caused us to kind of flip our formations and the way we kind of set up. We couldn't do that on time. So they would catch us off guard in the middle of their counts. And so, we just didn't do a great job communicating. And then when we got off on the sideline, we didn't have the personnel that we needed to kind of combat some of those things because we had lost some of our guys. Right. And at that point, when you're, adolescent kids, they're a tough animal. When things are going well, they're easy to coach. They're excited. Things are going well. You can pump them up. You get us going. We were pumped early. When things aren't going well, and our team knows what our personnel is like. So when Derek went down, and thus our game plan on offense went out the window, you'd have thought someone had shot somebody on our sideline. I mean, that was kind of the mood. And it took me the rest of the quarter just to kind of get us out of our own funk mentally. And so, I had to approach it even at halftime with the idea that, look, forget about this next 2 quarters. Let's get better. Let's stay healthy. we have an entire conference schedule, and oh, by the way, more tough conference and in and out of conference road games coming up. We have to, kind of forget what's happening here and just be competitive play after play. So that's kind of where we are right now. And, they're making me earn my money, that's for sure. And so I have to go back to work to get myself in a better place. I can tell you right now, the kids are in good spirits. On Saturday, we understood where we went wrong and what kind of misfortune things happened in the game itself. And I took some chances early on that didn't work out for us. Again, just like Centerville, we got them in the second quarter and early third to a lot of third and fourth downs. Could not get off the field. Right. You were there, John. They scored 2 touchdowns on fourth downs, where if we make that play, we're off the field. Right. And we prevent them from scoring. And that may have kept us a little more in the game. But we had a quarterback who hadn't played quarterback for 2 years, coming off a knee injury, didn't even play football last year. Right. He's pressing when we lose 2 of our skilled guys that were really big in the empty set. And so he's pressing. And, it doesn't make for a very cohesive situation as you go through a game. So got to take my hat off to Robinson. They came ready for us. They needed that game. You could see it.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to pull positives out of a game like that.
Yeah, it is.
But there were some. I mean,
there are. Absolutely.
Daniel
Nobody can cover Daniel. We know that already.
Yeah,
they were doubling him, and he was still getting them.
Right.
So 8 catches for 132 yards, and he was gassed for a lot of those because once Derek and Jordan went out, we only played one corner in our scheme on defense. Right. We lost one. We had to put the backup in. We lost the backup. Then we had to put Daniel in. So then Daniel was playing every play, and he was still making plays on him. So if we can keep him fresh in any game, nobody can guard him. Right. The issue we have to go back to work on is our focus, our discipline, as far as getting ready week to week, and just our mental fortitude. We've got to make sure that we understand that we're still a talented team. We need the next month to get healthy, and we need to play well. So that's what we're going to focus on. We'll win some games here and there. We're probably going to lose some games here and there if we do the same things we did this week as far as our approach is concerned. But I think the kids, like I said, are in good spirit. Our goals are still intact. It's Concord. You're on the road. It's the tough week 1 assignment. We spent the entire last 2 months on the road at Concord teams, at camp against Westfield and Chantilly, at Oakton, at Centerville, at Robinson. I mean, that's some of the best football in the state. So we're not going to see anything moving forward that we're going to be completely shocked about, right? So that's a positive, I guess, if you want to look at it in that term.
Well, how valuable was that experience for your backup quarterback to get in there? I mean, 19 of 31, he had 244. I mean, obviously getting in there, he had some mistakes, had some ups and downs, but he still had some valuable play in there.
Jake was sharp in the first 2 series, I thought. I mean, he was hitting them, and he was reading well, and we were protecting fine. When we lost Derek, as I said, and we couldn't go 5 wide anymore, he started pressing. And our run game actually wasn't bad based on our zone read, but he turned the ball over probably 1 too many times. Couple ill-advised throws, fumbled a little bit on a very nice run that would have kept the drive going. Those kind of things, you can't go on the road and turn the ball over. That's a disaster. And then for us, we're not deep. Everybody knows that. I've said that. I'm going to continue to say that. So when we lose our top tier guys, the next line in really isn't ready. And we had some JV kids in there. I mean, so, all things told, this gets worse for me as the week goes on mentally. And I start banging my head against the wall, But I think we're going to have a sense of purpose this week. And we're finally at home. We're not on a bus anymore. And so I just want to get back to work. That's who I am. I'm a kind of guy that gets up and, I got up early this morning with my baby and I got right on the film, right on the scheduling. I have to move on. So it's one game. If you're going to do this, now is the time to do it, right? And I reiterated this to the boys after, 2 years ago, we went to South County in the first week and we got railroaded there too. It was like 42-14. Well, we ended up going 8-2 and getting a share of the league there. So this is not a disaster. We just have to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a position mentally where we can't recover.
Okay.
That's my job.
Enough about Robinson. Yeah. Let's leave that where it belongs.
Can we just stop talking about it?
You got tough-looking Mount Vernon school coming in
2-0.
for your coach. So let's talk about.
Got a big back. Route 1 kids are front runners.
Yeah.
And what that means is when you're doing well, they've come in with a lot of confidence. So they're going to come in loose, ready to go. So we have a tough test. They got some skill guys we're going to have to cover. They've always had that. We think we have some advantages that we're going to take advantage of in the game plan. But they're going to come out and fight us. This is not like last year where we came out and it was, you looked up, it was 35-0, whatever it was, and we could start putting in the 2s and 3s. I think we're going to have a tough test here, but I like that. I think we need this coming off of getting a beat down. I think our kids need to come out against a decently athletic team and perform well in order to move us forward for what will be the continuance of the in-conference schedule. I've told the guys you cannot lose your home conference games if you expect to win the league. So our backs are against the wall, and our guys know that. We've got to come out and play well. So.
Now, you said you got up this morning and started watching film. You started watching the Mount Vernon film?
Yes, I actually started on that Thursday. I started on the week next on Thursday of last week.
And you said they got a big back, Darian Newton. I think he's got 300 yards already in this season. He's
pretty good. Yeah. He's pretty good. We got to get 11 hats to the ball. Guys know that. We also have to do our best at the line of scrimmage to make sure he doesn't have space to get into. Now, is he like the Robinson kids where once he breaks it, we're going to have a hard time running them down? I don't think so. He's got a little boogie to him, though. That's something that's there. But, one-on-one tackling is not going to be a good deal for us, I think, with this kid. So I think we're going to have to gang tackle. We're going to have to be energetic, excited. I just want our kids to have some fun here. Like I said, we started off so well last week, and our mood was bad. I want our mood. It's football. Like, I want us to – it's sports, right? And we have to keep that in mind here. Like, I get to coach football every day, so I need to have a good mentality about this as well, where we're going to go out and have some fun. We're going to have a crowd behind us. So, let's hope it's a different story.
Talk about the crowd a little bit.
Very good crowd.
Is your quarterback going to be starting? Peter going to be starting this week?
We expect him to. The reason we held him out, John, was to get him ready for this week. Okay. 100%. And he is looking at Mount Vernon because, he tweaked his ankle last year in the second series, and we didn't have Jake. So he had to be a one-legged bandit for 5 weeks. He wants to show everybody that he's healthy and that he is a dual threat. Right. And so he's excited for this. It was very tough for him to sit on that sideline. He came up to me on more than one occasion, Coach, put me in. No, we'll get out of here fine. We got a conference scheduled to work out here. So you just chill and be a good leader. And next week, and it's one of those things where our team is, and it's nothing against Jake, but our team with Jake at receiver and Pete at quarterback makes our situation a completely different thing. So
when you have an all-state quarterback, it helps.
Right. That's right. So we have to keep all these things in mind. I just hate losing, and I hate the way I feel after I lose. And I don't want the kids to get into that rut. So I'm going to have a lot of positive energy, I think, this week. And I'm ready to go to work. I want to get this out of my mind kind of thing, right?
Obviously, Coach Monty Fritz, new coach at Mount Vernon.
Doing well.
Is he running things a lot different there?
Seems like it.
See on film?
I'll be honest. From what it seems, and we went and scouted them on one of their games, the WNL game. Seems like their organization is a lot better. Okay, they can call things off of signals, which they've never been able to do. It doesn't seem like they are very proactive in getting a lot of people involved early. I'll be honest, I think they benefit from an early schedule situation where they've got some teams that they can do things against. They're going to enter a tough part of their schedule with the Patriot. This is not Stewart. This is not, So I think they have to keep that in mind in moving forward. But it looks like just, their coaching is at a much higher standard. Nothing against the last coach. I thought he was a great guy. But this team, and he's got more kids out. They have more kids in their program than we do. And that's very surprising. So he did a very good job getting in the building and getting the numbers that he needs, right? This kid didn't play football last year that you alluded to. So he obviously did his homework on that.
Last thing I got for you. How annoying was Peter on the sideline trying to get in the game?
So annoying. So annoying. But I'll be honest, he did a good job keeping the kids up. I'm a little disappointed in our fans, to be honest. They were kind of hounding about putting Pete in. I didn't think that was very supportive of Jake. Jake didn't ask to play quarterback. We asked him to play quarterback to kind of protect our season and look for the other 9 games. He did his diligent best and performed about as well as can be expected with some isolated miscues. And to be given his situation, I mean, he was thrown into a fire. So I don't think our fans were very supportive of that. They obviously didn't know the situation, and that's to be expected. But I'd like our fans to be supportive of everybody that goes out there. Yeah, we love Pete. Yeah, he's a great quarterback. But at the same time, you got to go out there with who you got. So.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming on this week. I know it's under the circumstances that
it's terrible. Yeah,
we'll be back next week.
Hey, we're gonna be more excited next week. So
right.
Let's go.
Well, for Spartan Spotlight, Coach Jason Eldridge, Rob Giampapa, I'm John Moore. We'll see you guys next week.